Hey guys, Melinda Haynes, license number 102308. So you want to be a child therapist. The sarcastic part of me wants to say, oh, that's so cute. But of course I'd be kidding. But anyways, I did want to kind of go over some of the basics and what you can expect from being a child therapist. Okay, so I have been spit on. I've actually been spit in the eye twice and have ended up with pink eye both times. I've had game boards thrown at me. I've been kicked, punched, slapped, hit. I've had tantrums thrown out in the public, in the community, because sometimes I do community-based stuff depending on the treatment plan and the situation. I've had parents accuse me of not fixing their child fast enough. There's all kinds of stuff, okay? So it's not a glamorous lifestyle. I just want to let you know that. You have to lug, this bag of toys around if you're going out into the community or visiting homes and doing a home-based treatment. If you're at an office, you're going to have, toys and clay and paint and crowns, thrown everywhere, smashed everywhere. If you have a sand tray like I do, you're going to have sand everywhere. Even when you have the rule of, I have one rule, and that's keep the sand in the sand tray, still somehow sand ends up, kind of all over. It's like going to the beach. I don't know. But anyways, there's going to be a lot of that kind of stuff that's not super plush office, nice, beautiful decorations and, adults just sitting there talking about their feelings. It's messy. It's messy, and, there needs to be a lot of interaction. I think that's why we have that interactive complexity modifier to add on to our billing. It's definitely well deserved. So anyways, besides that, you've got the stories. Sometimes their stories are going to be verbal. Sometimes they're going to be, the pictures that they draw, the sand trace that they create. And with your interpretive skill and the knowledge that you have, you're going to be like, oh crap, like I know what this kid is telling me, without using words, I know what's happening here. And it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to hear some of these stories. There are kids that, have experienced a lot of abuse. I've worked with children that are, they're so neglected, they're basically feral. And, the other heartbreaking, sexual abuse, other kinds of abusive situations, chaos, traumatic events. I've worked with a lot of these cases, and it's difficult. It is difficult to absorb. We do have to work with those professional boundaries to make sure that we don't, have secondary trauma, hearing these stories. So, you've got both of these things, like kind of like the, the messiness, and then, the stories that you have to hear and the boundaries that you have to have. And then the compassion on top of it, you have to balance all this with compassion. So, it's not necessarily for everybody. And I know there are a lot of therapists who are like, no, thank you. I don't want to work with kids, and somebody else can do that job. But I love it. Personally, I love doing it. And if you are thinking of becoming a therapist, I would strongly encourage you to at least try that realm. Get some experience with it, work with a supervisor or somebody, an agency who has experience working with children, and try it out, because you may not realize that you're actually meant to do this and that you're actually really good at it. You may start to work with these kiddos and you're just like, oh my goodness, like this is my calling. It sounded horrible, but it's actually my calling. So give it a try. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid to try out working with kiddos if you are going to be a therapist. I appreciate you guys. Push comments below. Thank you.